Alright, so The Odyssey. This is Christopher Nolan's next movie, and based on everything that we're hearing and everything that we know so far about this film, it looks like he's going to be taking a bigger scale in filmmaking than ever before with this next movie. Of course, with Christopher Nolan, that he's an Oscar-winning director, as he should, but even with this next movie called The Odyssey, and it looks like to be even bigger than ever, aside from the stacked cast and the budget. And so in this video, I'm going to break down everything that we know so far about Christopher Nolan's next upcoming movie. And I don't know if it could top Oppenheimer, but there's so much to discuss right here. And so if you're new to that, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so I'm on any future vids. But now let's get into it. And now, if you've been keeping up to date with everything involved with Christopher Nolan's next movie, and it's officially titled The Odyssey, but even like before this, for how it came into tuition, and when it was first announced that he's already working on his next movie, and to have Matt Damon as the main lead, and it was also announced that, Tom Holland is also going to be attached to this movie, and we heard that it was going to be set in the 1920s, about a period set piece with vampires, a story around that, and it's going to be released July 17th, 2026, filmed with IMAX cameras, because especially if you look at Nolan's filmography, he's already used that type of technology to develop, especially with his last movie, Oppenheimer, with Cillian Murphy. Now, down the line, it was officially confirmed that with the title of his next movie, it's officially called The Odyssey, and it's a mythic action epic shot with brand new IMAX technology that Christopher Nolan is going to be adapting into his filmography, and especially with the theme around it, since it's going to be called like ancient Greek literature based on a poem by Homer. Odysseus, that it tells the story of his journey home after the Trojan War. It took him on a timeline of 10 years. You know that we're curious about what type of story element that is going to be adapting, and even with the reaction that the people got, that it's going to be called The Odyssey, and people have no idea what the story actually is. But even though it's really a fascinating poem for the way that Nolan is going to adapt it into his next movie, and I'm all here for it. And especially as they keep on adding more and more people, and trust me, when I say this, I think this is going to be Nolan's biggest film ever, especially after winning an Oscar, and even with the budget, it's going to be about $250 million. That's like the biggest expensive movie that he is ever going to be making. And even though not only that, but especially with the star cast that we have here, is with Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, Lupita Nyong'o, Robert Pattinson, Charlize Theron, and I think it was also recently announced that John Bernthal has been added to the cast, and that is huge. Specifically, as we know him as the one and only Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, and we're going to see him in a Daredevil Born Again, and now being in Nolan's next movie. And Nolan is a legendary icon. He's like a legend in filmmaking, and to have him be a part of his next movie, it's going to be huge as well. And so, I mean, we have no idea what type of a story details that we know about it just yet. I want to dive into this a little bit more, especially with the story itself with The Odyssey, and what type of story points and what kind of plot details from that poem that Christopher Nolan wants to adapt, and especially where they are filming this. I'm pretty sure they'll be filming in especially within the foreign countries, to make the story come to life. And even though we have no idea who these cast members are going to be playing, I'm pretty sure that's going to be kept under wraps until later down the line, once they start filming, or until we get official subtitles or whatnot. And wow, just with this static cast alone, I'm pretty sure Nolan is gonna handle it brilliantly. And I'm pretty sure plus it's gonna be filming this year in 2025. And this is going to mark Christopher Nolan's second time working with Universal, as he did with Oppenheimer, and that won Best Picture. I can already smell an Oscar nomination coming again. Even though with this recent casting announcement with John Bernthal added, I'm pretty sure he's going to be playing an important role, because he's a recent cast member added to this movie. And I'm pretty sure Nolan is gonna give him a role no matter what. This is gonna have some pretty big names in it, and I'm pretty sure this is gonna be an event like I did with Oppenheimer, back in 2023 when Barbenheimer came to life. Even with the story itself with Odysseus and from what he goes through in that storyline and for how it's going to be adapted into film. And I'm just really curious for what it's going to be adapted and for how I can really picture it in my head for how it's really going to go down. I'm pretty sure Nolan is going to do everything that I can to enhance it with a really cool IMAX technology and really focusing on the details, because this is like adapting a popular story from the olden times, from an ancient Greek, ancient times from Homer, like Christopher Nolan and his vision, putting his own spin on it, but adapting a bit of details, but putting his own spin on it. So I think we can expect like a ton of themes to go down. It's like an action epic, so I'm pretty sure with this movie it's going to be filled with action sequences involving Odysseus for what his time after the war is like, especially as it's taking him like 10 years, and I can only imagine what that first trailer is going to be like or what those frames are going to be, and it just gets me very excited that next year, summer of 2026, we're gonna have a new Christopher Nolan movie. And even if you look at the movie slate for next year, we're not only gonna be having that, but a ton of movies coming out as well. So buckle your seatbelts, guys. We're in for a wild ride with Christopher Nolan's new movie, and I'm wondering of what Matt Damon is going to play, especially with Tom Holland. And that was one of the first two people added to this movie, and I'm pretty sure like, they're going to be playing like father and son. I don't know if that's a definite possibility, but we'll definitely have to find out and see. But if The Odyssey from Christopher Nolan decides to do a crazy marketing, and I don't know, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually do a popcorn bucket or some crazy type of marketing, and that reminds people why they love Nolan or his filmography and his work. Wow, there's so much I want to rattle off on the top of my head, but I think it's gonna be a great film coming off the heels of Oppenheimer, and I'm pretty sure like this is gonna win some Oscars like when it comes to award season, and I'm pretty sure that like this is gonna blow me away. I mean, Christopher Nolan knows what it takes to be a filmmaker. He won an Oscar for it, and that award proves it. Like, he can do anything with IMAX technology, and it's a film, one of his most expensive films ever, and I'm pretty sure like it's gonna rack up box office money and rack it up at the Oscars. And even with the budget alone, like this is not like anything new, because if you look at, I'm specifically talking about with the MCU and other action movies that have had such a high budget, like that sometimes like do not quite deliver based on the bloated budget, but specifically with Christopher Nolan, that's like a big budget to even think about. That's including for VFX, and especially with post-production, and especially with filming on big sets. But if you take a look at Oppenheimer, and that movie was filmed on a $100 million budget, and it's almost crossed the $1 billion mark, and it won Best Picture. It racked up at the Oscars. Just with this cast alone, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be so crazy once we hear those official announcements for which member of the cast is gonna be playing on the internet. It's gonna go wild over this. But yeah, man, it's just like exciting stuff, like a lot to take in. With John Bernthal added, I'm pretty sure they're gonna give him like a really serious role, and that's gonna really make like the best performance of his career ever since, you know, like Daredevil. It's just gonna be so excited for what's to come. So yeah, I am very excited for The Odyssey by Christopher Nolan, and hopefully we'll get some announcements within the upcoming weeks or months, because it starts filming literally like this year. And yeah, I can already picture like everything in my head for what's going to be about. But yeah, that's all I got for you. But that's gonna do it for this video. Just let me know in the comments below, and what are your thoughts on this, especially with this recent casting update, or what do you think about all the details that we know so far for Christopher Nolan's next movie, and what are your thoughts? Just let me know in the comments. And how excited are you for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey? Just let me know. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe and turn on notifications about videos, and also follow all my social medias, all linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.